Welcome to my Christmas night routine. I start my night routine usually around 3:30, 4 p.m.-ish, not because my day is over, but because I want to walk my dog Bowie and it is about to get dark and I want to walk him before it is pitch black outside. Let me tell you something, when it is that cold, when it is that dark and you look outside and you're like, oh my gosh, the last thing that I want to do right now is get outside into that cold and gray weather. I have to say, I always feel so much better afterwards. Of course, I can easily say that because I am forced to walk my dog. I totally get it if you don't go on your own free will out into this weather. But I can say that it helps, okay? When you're inside all day, that fresh air, that moving your body, it is so good. And the walk feels so much different than when you just go to the gym and do a workout or go on a treadmill and walk there. It is different if you actually go outside, get some fresh air in. I'm calling you out if you're not going on walks. Try going on walks. I have to admit it, even though I never want to go outside, I have to admit that my mental health is better after that walk. So now we have to pack ourselves in very warm clothing because it is actually freezing. Are you ready for a walkie? Walkie? Yes! Are we going on a walkie? You know, walking your dog is not something aesthetic, so these are my ugly winter boots. They scream dog walking boots. Very important. By the way, if you're wondering, yes, it is already that cold that I have to wear a jacket like this. Oh my gosh. I have this little collar for my dog that lights up because I think we're gonna need it today. It is so dark outside. We need a beanie and we're set. Let's go. I just did the entire advent calendar opening and then I realized I forgot to press the record button, which is just... I think you're never too old for an advent calendar, and this year I actually have this super fancy rituals advent calendar. I got this from my boyfriend for my birthday because usually I don't splurge on an advent calendar. I don't even really know which one I would want to have, and I usually just get a very cheap chocolate one because, you know, it's nice to have a chocolate every day. Actually, you should put this tree together, but we didn't quite manage to do that. I don't know what we did wrong, but... And then you should hang all of these little packages onto the tree. And then you have this little star that you put on top and it should hold it together. So I decided to just lay them all under the tree, kind of like the presents underneath a tree. And I put on the fairy lights to make it look cute. And today we actually have number 11, which I already opened. It's a little candle. I think this is so cute. It smells really good. And well, then we opened the Kinder chocolate one and we already ate the chocolate, so yeah. So every day in the afternoon when my boyfriend comes home from work, we do this little advent calendar opening ritual, which is kind of like, okay. So I made myself a little peppermint tea. I don't like to have caffeine in the afternoon because I am very sensitive to caffeine and I cannot sleep if I have a coffee after like, I don't know, 3 p.m.-ish. I love snacking on clementines. It's just the season for it. And then I also like to snack on these are like coffee cookies. We got them from Italy and I'm already sad when they're empty because they're so good. Love them. Since it is getting dark so early, I can really feel how it's starting to affect my mood. And also I feel like the days just feel so short lately. So what I like to do is I like to romanticize my afternoons, my evenings. I like to turn on all of my Christmas lights, obviously have the tree, I have some Christmas video in the background, lighting a candle, doing little stuff like that. There's no sun during the day, it feels like it is literally dark all day. So I feel like romanticizing my afternoons and turning on all of the lights and making it super cozy helps a little bit, especially around the Christmas time. I mean, we don't want to talk about what's happening after. And I always like to think about how much I look forward to this in summer, not to winter and the dark and the cold and the depressing, but you know, fall and the Christmas time. And you know, when it's summer and it's super hot and you're like sweating and you're like, oh my gosh, I cannot sleep. All you want to have at that moment is be cozied up in your living room under a blanket, having your Christmas lights on. And yeah, that's how I pretty much handle the dark days. By the way, I also want to apologize for our laundry, whatever this is called. This is part of our decoration at this point. Since we're doing our walk very early in the afternoon, what I like to do afterwards is do a little bit of editing and try to enjoy my afternoon, even though it feels like it is the middle of the night. Getting unready. So usually I would start by removing my contact lenses, but as you can see, I am wearing my glasses today. I like to have a few days in a week where I don't wear my contact lenses. I didn't do this in the beginning until my eye doctor was like, you cannot wear them 7 days a week, almost 24/7, because you cannot get laser if you do that. For removing my makeup, I don't use anything fancy. I don't use any wipes, like makeup remover wipes, because I was at my dermatologist, I don't know, years ago, and he was like, throw them away. So ever since then, I use a very, very affordable cleansing milk. If you are from Austria, Germany, Switzerland, it is from Balea. You can buy this at DM. I've never had an issue with this. I use this every day to remove my makeup, and I just put it on a cotton pad. I usually use 2 pads and then everything is gone. Et voila, a bare face. And then under the shower, I like to use my CeraVe cleanser. I wash my face under the shower. I know you're not supposed to do that, but I don't care because I don't want to wash my face in the sink if I don't have to. Okay? And then at the moment, I actually have free shower gels. I have this one here, which is also from Balea. This is orange vanilla. This is so good. It smells like Christmas. And then I got this one gifted from a friend. It's called Candy Cutie and it literally smells like candy. And then I have one from a Ritual, which is from my advent calendar, Serene Foaming Shower Gel. This smells like a spa. So usually choose one of them. Okay, before we make dinner, let me tell you something. I was debating on keeping my makeup on, staying in my clothes, and looking a little bit more put together. I always see people making their dinner still with their clothes on, eating their dinner with their clothes on and their makeup on and all of that. I'm not about that life, okay? I like to be in my PJs. I like to remove my makeup and then cozy up on the couch and then have my dinner. Are you a person that likes to have dinner before removing your makeup and taking a shower? Or are you like me and you shower first and then have dinner? This is so random, but this is something I've always been thinking about. I don't have anything prepped for today. I usually like to meal prep, but in that case, when I don't have anything prepped, I like to have meals that I can go back to because usually I'm super lazy, I am tired, I'm hungry, and I need something that is quick, okay? One of my go-to meals actually for this is pesto pasta, but I already had this a few days ago. And this is another go-to for me, and that is frozen fish. Just put it either in a pan or I put it in the oven, but today we're gonna make it in a pan. I bought these potatoes. They're already pre-cooked, pre-cut, pre-everything made. I think they're new at Aldi. We already bought another one. They didn't have any seasoning, but there was like a garlic sauce with it, and they were really good. And these ones are with, is it rosemary? And, because we're lazy, right? Frozen veggies. And honestly, nothing wrong with frozen veggies. They're usually fresher than the ones you can buy at the store because they freeze them right after harvesting them instead of the ones that you buy at the grocery store that you don't know how long they've been laying around. We're gonna make everything in a pan, even though I'm realizing I need 3 pans. Do we have enough space for that? I don't know actually. Cooking up here. Something that my mom actually taught me, because I was doing this wrong all the time. I was always taking the frozen fish and defrost it. And she was like, why don't you just put it in the pan frozen? And I've been doing this ever since. So what she does is she puts it in the pan frozen, fries it for a little bit, then reduces the heat, adds water, and then put a lid on top. And then let it just cook. And it gets so much better that way. Where was this trick all my life? Because she was here on a random evening. We were like watching the Arrows movie, making bracelets, and I was making dinner and she was like, what are you doing? Making fish. I buy this with this pre-seasoning. Oh my gosh. Oh, here we have the spices. I'm a big fan of making potatoes, like fresh potatoes, cutting them, salting them, putting them in the air fryer and just making homemade fries. But sometimes you need something like this, okay? Oh, so this is a pesto, a rosemary pesto, and you add it when you're done. Okay, interesting. I think my fish is burning. Oh my god. Oh my god. Now we're turning the fish, adding some water. I don't season it because it already comes pre-seasoned, so I just leave it like that. It always looks a lot, but then when you know when it fries, it gets smaller, and then dinner is ready, and oh my gosh, it looks so good. Like, look at the potatoes. Oh my gosh, this rosemary pesto. Wow, wow. I thought it's just potatoes with rosemary, you know, spices, herbs. And as I mentioned, I'm eating my dinner on my couch. I like to watch a YouTube video for my dinner. At the moment, I'm watching Zoe's Vlogmas, as you should. And then I have this Christmas ambience video going on in the background and have it just super cozied up while I'm eating my dinner. We actually have to do a taste test, right? Mm. Oh, you definitely have to like rosemary. Mm. I just turned the dishwasher on. If you can hear that noise, I'm very sorry. For dessert, I usually like to have just a Greek yogurt with some fruit. I don't always have a healthy dessert for dinner, especially on the weekend. We like to have some popcorn, we like to have some chocolate and candies. But during the week, I try to keep it healthy for the most part. But if I do not want to make a Greek yogurt with fruit, which I mean, it's not a lot of work, but you know, you have these evenings where you have that resistance and you don't want to make anything, you just want to grab something and eat it. And in that case, I always eat these little protein puddings. What is it called in English? If you would translate this word by word, it's milk rice. But I'm pretty sure there's a different word for it, right? Do you have that? Oh my gosh. I always have some at home for the nights where I don't even want to make a Greek yogurt with fruit. And then I made myself a tea. This cute mug. This mug broke before and I just used it for a thumbnail. I'm too scared to even lift it. And it has this little Santa head, and oh my gosh, my mom got me this actually and I love it so much. And if you're curious, my choice of tea in the evening is chamomile tea with a little bit of honey. If I have peppermint tea, I like to have a splash of milk. So weird, right? I don't have a tea every night because usually I'm too lazy. This is like the sentence for everything. I'm too lazy. And number two, I am a person, I have to pee all the time. I wish I was one of those people who gets in bed, reads a little bit, has her tea, but I cannot have it that close to bedtime because number one, I have to pee and I don't want to get up in the night and have to pee because I already usually have to do that. I don't want to make it worse, okay? And number two is because I get just way too warm. It's too warm if I have a tea right before bed. So I need to have it at least an hour before bed, okay? So having my tea, having my little protein milk rice. I need to Google it right now. And watch a little bit more, I don't know, YouTube, TikTok. I don't know what it is, but lately I don't know what to watch. Because I don't want to watch a movie. When I spend the evening with my boyfriend, we watch Christmas movie or horror movies. But on my own, I don't watch movie, I don't watch a series. I usually watch YouTube. And when it comes to TikTok, lately I'm so bored. I'm so bored. I feel like everything is the same, and I don't know. Do you have the same feeling? And when TikTok gets boring, it's like, oh my gosh, what we're gonna do now? We are in bed. Something that I didn't film before anyone comes for me. I brushed my teeth, obviously, before going to bed. And something that I always do in the evening, I take Bowie out again one more time for a little wee, because we go on a walk at like 4 p.m. and it is way too long until tomorrow. And I also brush his teeth, which I cannot film because it looks he's acting like I like I'm doing I don't know what to him. Let me tell you something about reading before bed. I definitely do not do this every single night. For the longest time, I don't know, I didn't read because I thought I have to read every night. And now I just see how much time I have pretty much. I mean, I do have time to read. There are nights where I just do not want to read and I just go straight to bed because I've been scrolling for so long, or we watched a movie for too long, or you know, we all know that, okay? Even though I really do enjoy reading, I don't know why I always procrastinate on reading, because every time I lay down in bed and I read, I do really enjoy it. What I'm currently reading is Harry Potter, The Goblet of Fire. I got all of the books last year for my birthday from my boyfriend, which was pretty much the best present ever, because ever since I was in law school, I never had time to read because I was studying all day, I was in books all day, and I didn't want to read, but I always wanted to read the books. So last year I read the first 3 ones, and since I only want to read them in fall and winter, because you know they have to be read in fall and winter, so this year I'm continuing. I'm not very far, as you can see. Reason is because I haven't been reading a lot, and before that I was actually reading You're a Badass, which is probably one of my favorite books of all time. If you've never read it, this is so good, okay? And I was reading it actually for the 3rd time, and I really needed it. I really needed this in fall. I think this is the only book I've read multiple times, and I would reread it again and again and again. It is that good. And also for the longest time, I always thought I have to read a self-development book, you know, to kind of get something productive done. And I was always only reading books like this, which is not bad. But last year I realized I do really enjoy reading fiction books. So I usually read one chapter, 10 to 15 minutes, and then call it a night. That was my Christmas nighttime routine. I hope you enjoyed it. Subscribe for more workout and food videos. I know this is not the typical fitness video, but I still wanted to do it because I haven't been vlogging much. And give the video a like if you enjoyed it. And other than that, thank you so much for watching, and I hope to see you in my next video. Bye!